Hi Virgo, welcome to your weekly reading. I am very sorry that it took me a bit to upload your video, but that is because I have been quite busy. I made a few videos about Australia, and I don't know if you got around to watch them, but my husband was from there and he passed away last year in April. But, when we were together, I was able to spend quite a bit of time over there. And it just happens that I lived about 6 hours southeast from Sydney. And every time I would go there and he would pick me up, we would usually drive down and go through all of those little towns that today have burned down. So you can imagine what it's been feeling like for me. I still have quite a few friends over there that I've been keeping in contact with during this time. And it just happens that, we lived in a mountain. Imagine a mountain surrounded by forest. There were a lot of different national parks that were owned by the government, and they still owned by the government. But for thousands of miles, we were surrounded by this rich vegetation as well as fauna. Australia was very, very rich in fauna. So we lived in a little, cottage surrounded by, vegetation, eucalyptus trees, and right behind our property there was a river that right now is completely dried up. And it was a really awesome time. So being able to see what's going on over there has been heartbreaking for me, which has kind of gotten a little bit in the way of being able to upload this video fast enough. And that's because I've sort of redirected my focus in uploading videos about doing focus meditation and sending love and light to that place. So please, I would encourage you to listen to some of these videos because, right now they could really use our help as well as the root chakra of our planet. So our root chakra is located in the center of Australia. For those of you who may not know, this place is called Ayers Rock, is known most familiar for Uluru. And right now the tribes are getting ready to do a ceremony to activate that center. So although they are still going through a lot of problems and they're getting ready to have more fires come through, we can help. And the way that we can do it, some of us, is just by sending love and light. The sad part is that although in this first cycle our little village was able to survive this time around, because they're expecting another huge crisis in this coming weekend, it could very well destroy whatever's left, and it could just be the village where I used to live. So please support me in this. I would truly appreciate. So just listen to those videos, and as you can see in the way that you can participate, it's not going to take a lot of your time. So I also want to say thank you to all of the new people that have come to my channel. Welcome. And as well, those that continue to support me, thank you, thank you. I do have an account in Instagram and Twitter that I'm now, and Facebook, that I'm now, posting videos and information about anything that I may do that can't bring us together or that can't connect us together as one. So please check that out. And the name is Mama Star X. So I tried to keep the same name along the way. All right, dear Virgo, so let's begin. Just remember, this is general, so it may not describe every situation out there, Virgo, but the messages that I offer, I do it from a place where it can help anyone. So just keep that in mind. All right, Virgo. So in this particular cycle, you are coming through as the tarantula. And when I see this card, what I feel is as if you are going through a time of progress, getting ahead, getting to the finish line. It's like, you are in a mission and you're not stopping at, it's not like you're not giving up. It's like whatever you do and whatever obstacles get in the way, the bigger picture is to get to the finish line. And that's kind of where you're at. And the tarantula, as you can see, a lot of people don't like spiders. My daughter hates them. She's so afraid of them. Now, when I was in Australia, I remember, they had this really huge tarantula. And they're huge, humongous. And one day I was sitting down in my bed folding my laundry, and one of these babies started coming up my leg. I thought I was going to die. Now, the second time around, it wasn't so bad. So, we can overcome our fears. And here, when I see this, it tells me that you may be in one of those modes when you can kind of look kind of scary, or maybe, come across as someone that is, when in reality you're not. So maybe in the way you're choosing to behave in regards to the situation that is coming up in this reading is forcing you to take that attitude. But when in reality you're just this really sweet, flexible, compassionate, loving person. But what happens is that a lot of times people tend to confuse, patience and caring for something else. And you're tired of that. You're tired of just attracting this type of people that think that because you are nice and you're open and loving and caring and willing to give it all, that they can just take advantage of you. So you are in one of these emotional places where you're like building a web. And as a matter of fact, I would say that you're quite familiar with the environment to the point that when it's that time to just move away from a situation that doesn't feel right. Now, the issue within this attitude is that some of you, not all of you, some of you are having a conflict. And it's more of an internal conflict. And this conflict is kind of like, okay, I've learned enough. Oh my God, love comes through, right? I learned enough to know better. And I've come to terms with what I want. And I've made this decision and I'm moving ahead. And all of a sudden, an experience shows up that it's kind of challenging you. It's like it's there. It's like an option that it looks close enough to the things that you want to have, but it's not necessarily all of it. But this option is catching your attention because it's close enough. It's like, this looks close enough to what I would like to have in my life. I like it enough. It attracts me enough. But something has happened that now is making me doubt. And it's making me question whether it is the one thing or not. So I can see you here, Virgo, how you have dealt with someone or are dealing with someone that it attracts you quite a bit. Someone there's, a lot of things in common where you can talk to each other and nurture each other at many different levels. There's certain things about this person that really fills you up, but yet something happened along the way that made you pull back and reconsider, to the point that you thought, you know what, this is not for me. I don't need this. So whatever that one thing happened between you and this person put you in a place of feeling guarded. And that kind of went on for a little bit. But this person came back, and I feel like we're talking here about the same person from the last reading and possibly the reading before. And this person is the kind that, 1 minute they're flying really high up in the air, experiencing upper realms, while other times they seem to be swimming in the depth of the ocean. And then once in a while they come to, the ground, the soil, and, they kind of dry up or settle down, and then they go away again. So here we're talking about someone with a type of personality that they can be very insightful, even at times very connected, and very, I would say, even spiritual, and you love that. You love people that are deep, people that are passionate, and that they seem to be great idealists. But you're still a Virgo. And one of your greatest quality is that you're very down to earth. And you're the kind of person that you think, well, I can dream, I can visualize. You're very adaptable. But, at the end of the day, we have to come back and put our feet on the ground. And how are we going to do that? What kind of options do we have to create a structure that makes me feel grounded? And this person are not consistent enough to do that. This person right now in this reading is coming as the turtle with the element of water. So I've seen this person a lot in the air or water. And last week I think they came as with the element of earth. Okay, but here turtle deals with earth and water. So I feel like this is someone who could be very emotional, very caring and touching, and you love that. But can just totally, disappear for, little periods of time where you can't keep up with them. It's funny that the other element, of the astrology cards of the oracle that is coming with them is Pisces. And Pisces, that describes the 12th house in astrology. And this is all about someone who is very romantic and have a great imagination. And these people, they can actually imagine things so well that feels real. That's how good they are. But they can get lost in that reality. And when it comes down to put their feet in the ground, it's like they're shady. So here I see that some of you, Virgo, you're coming with Sagittarius, okay? Sagittarius deal with the 9th house, which is all about how am I going to cope? How am I going to deal with bringing a concept from a vibrational form into materialization? And Sagittarius here is showing that some of you, Virgo, are struggling because now you're kind of questioning whether if to give this person another opportunity or if to move on. I see that some of you have decided to go on and to move on, and you're like, I'm done. It's over. But some of you are now sort of thinking about it. So those people that decided, those Virgos, I should say, that decided to move on, you've been going through a cycle of nostalgia where you may feel very sensitive because you are remembering things from the past, those moments where you spent time with someone that you felt very connected. And although those moments have ended, from a physical perspective, emotionally are still there. I kind of feel like this is describing me in some ways. Seeing how all of those beautiful places that have been destroyed in that part of Australia are gone is sort of bringing that feeling of, or that void, like, oh my God, not only, my husband died and, we were going through a difficult time before he died, but now all of those places that I had such a beautiful memory are gone. So, and I'm planning to go there again just because I have a lot of friends, but, it's heartbreaking. So, and I don't know, sometimes I feel like we may just get to the point where we completely lose Australia, where people are going to have to migrate just because it's not going to be a livable place. I hope it's not true. I hope it's not the case, but I've been getting some, visions that it could very well happen. But anyways, let's come back to the reading. So here we see some of you who are in that emotional state, while other ones are trying to figure out if I should give this person another chance. Do they deserve another chance? Maybe I'm being a little bit too critical and I'm being too black and white. So maybe I need to relax a little bit and, see if, there is another chance. And I remember last reading, the energy spirit said, hey, Virgo, why don't you just make up your mind? In this one, spirit is saying, look, your confusion and your inability to decide has now created a vibration that is not the proper time to make a choice. In this cycle, the best thing to do is to wait. So for those of you who are questioning whether to take this person back or to commit, Spirit is saying, not right now. Some of you might have reconnected to this person and kind of started to, little by little, interact and reconnect. And now you're starting to feel like, oh, should I reconsider? Well, Spirit is saying, this moment, no, not the right time. And the reason being is because the person here that is coming out is someone who, as I said, they seem to be quite unstable when it comes to being consistent in their actions. And when it comes to their communication, they come with the devil. So I feel, and if you see here, Virgo, there is the Queen of Wands, and next to the Queen of Wands, there is the Knight of Pentacles upside down. You see that? I hope the camera focus, lens focus. Okay, so here I'm feeling like this person is a type of character that enjoys this type of, drama. And I don't necessarily feel that they know that or they're aware of that, but they do. They kind of love that sort of, feeling of having to hunt for something, and all of that process is exciting. But once they get it, they enjoy for a little bit, but then they have to go back to the change. Now, I'm also picking up other people, okay, that you've dealt with, and these are now, I'm talking about the Virgos that decided to completely break away, and there's no any other opportunity. This person, it's dealing and facing the facts that the relationship is over. And although you may not want to hear this, Virgo, but these people are going through a process of change where they're finally realizing that, ooh, this is over. And they're going through that time that, a lot of us go through when we are starting to recognize, what we did in that relationship, what worked, what didn't. It's like what we have to go through to start taking responsibility, and a lot of times the result is that we either blame someone or we blame ourselves. But we go through all of that. So the process of this person right now is realizing, oh my God, what do I want? Now that I'm here, what do I want? Now that I'm facing this end and I'm forced to begin new, what do I want? Because I have no idea. This person that you left behind, they have no fucking idea. So they might have been quite distracted, creating a very destructive relationship. And now they're kind of like, and now what? So we have two representations here of two types of people, that one is trying to figure their way through, while the other one, it comes with some sort of, addiction or temptation or habit that is not healthy, which ultimately is going to show up. Ultimately, you'll see. So one of the things that Spirit is saying, Virgo, is stop letting your emotions determine your state of being. Right now, it's like, you're going through these highs and lows, and this is part of the personality of the tarantula. Even though she's very wise and very knowledgeable, sometimes she can be all over the place, because she can move any direction she wants. But that can create confusion, or can also create a state of being where you're all over the place. And that is because you need to tone down your emotions. So take some control of those emotions, and don't push yourself to try to make a decision, because you're not in an emotional place to do it. And what it's doing is creating all kinds of vibrations around you that have the same quality. So, this is a time where you gotta trust your intuition. You got to surrender and just relax and take some deep breath. Here comes the shaman card again. My God, it's like almost every reading that I do for Virgo, this shaman shows up. Now, here comes the Father Sky, and this energy is the same energy as Sagittarius. It's not Sagittarius, but it's the planet that rules Sagittarius, which is Jupiter. So you're dealing with very benevolent forces that are helping you to know what you need to know as you move forward. So you have an inner guidance that is guiding you along the way. And if you are creating resistance within your organism, within your thoughts and your emotions, the energy is not going to feel good, and you're not going to be able to access the proper information. So you have to just kind of relax and chill. Take, nature walks. Sometimes I don't do that enough because, I've gotten so busy with trying to do the things that I'm passionate about, and, build the channel, my YouTube channel, but not just based to, I'm just not using, all of you. I mean, although you help me so much when you guys connect with me, it really inspires me, but it's more about being able to ground my energy in a way that I am a channel that brings information based on what, it's needed instead of what I think it should be. So, this is what the energy is talking about. It's like, just try not to become what somebody else thinks you need to be, and just be more of you. And little by little, smooth those sharp edges in a way that you don't have to compromise yourself or compromise your convictions. You're dealing with the element of fire. You're fire yourself, which tells me that you have a lot going on in your plate. There's a lot of creativity coming through, a lot of, ideas, the things you want to do, and you're in a mission. You're determined to progress. And you are determined to achieve the type of relationship that you want to create, but you can't become impatient. You can't. You've got to respect and honor the cycles. You live in a reality that is made from cycles. And trying to rush in moments when the energy is not open, you get exhausted. You become exhausted. And within that exhaustion, you get confused. And I know it's difficult because there's a lot of things that you have with this person that feels right. Of course, I'm talking to the people that still dealing with this connection. The ones that left, well, allow yourself. This is the message. Those that are, there's no going back. Allow yourself to feel those emotions, be present, honor them, and then ask yourself, okay, I had enough. What am I going to do now? I am the kind of person that I allow myself to feel every emotion, and I am very present when I'm feeling that. I don't try to avoid it or to soothe it. No, I'm present. And I express every emotion that any human being has. But then I get to a point, it's like, okay, let me take control of my creative power. How am I going to direct it? Because I want to continue my journey, and I know that I create my reality. So, and I ask Spirit, okay, how can we harmonize, or what is the energy that can harmonize these two people or these two situations, right? The card that came out was your card, Virgo. And it came out upside down. And you know that the energy that rules Virgo, it's Mercury. We're talking about communication. And Virgo, the house that represents Virgo, it's all about structures. How do we bring, because it's the emotion of analyze. So how do we bring, what kind of structures we create to bring, that bridge between the emotional reality to the physical? And it's upside down, my friends. So that means that coming together or working together, the one option that you have to do it is not there. And it's just that your agenda and what your purpose is right now and your method of achieving what you want is different than this person. And when two people cannot come together and cooperate, it creates conflict. So this is why during this cycle, my friend, remember that sometimes we go through very small, fast, quick cycles, and other times we go through larger ones. And sometimes those cycles are built inside one another. Okay, so within this little cycle, you gotta chill. Remember that we're moving towards our full moon on the 10th of January, and we're going to have a lunar eclipse. And that's going to be a doorway where we're going to have access to a lot of energy. And you do not want to be able to enter in that window with this kind of confusion. Otherwise, you're going to be attracting a hell of a lot of other confusion for next month. I don't think I did it in English. I don't remember. Now I don't remember. Sometimes I make these videos and I have to go back and recheck, but I did some predictions. Yeah, I think I did it in English. Predictions about January, February, and March. And for January, it came that the focus for many of you was going to be work. That's where the energy was available. And then in February, it was about relationships and love. So I would say that would probably be a better cycle to make a decision. For now, I would say just chill, do nothing, just enjoy. If you want to have time where you could, guys go out to dinner or go to the movies or have some intimate moments without being too intense or, too serious, do it. But don't try to make anything out of it just because you're enjoying that. Doesn't have to be about what am I going to do next? How are we going to get to the next level? Because things are not moving fast enough, or because, I'm just not seeing what I want to see. Come on, you guys, just chill. I know, because I'm a Virgo, and I know how I can get. So, I've come to that place in my life where I have certain priorities, and I've learned to be really patient with myself and honor my feelings when they need to be honored. So, just chill. I think you've done a lot and you're doing great in your path and it's going to get better. But we have to relax a little bit around those judgments and self-criticism. Okay? So things are going to be okay, Virgo. So I hope that this helps. And I could see that, you're working on it. You're trying to get it together. What the other person is just the Three of Pentacles. They're kind of in their own, reality. And I'm going to say they can cope better with this situation than you can. They seem to be quite like, okay, they're moving like a turtle, really slow. Like, what's the rush? Oh, I have so many other places that I can, visit and entertain and distract myself, especially in the realms of emotions. But you're in that place where you're like, I want to expand. I'm expanding my consciousness, and I'm tired of creating the same shit over and over again. I want to explore new things. I want to go to places where it's not what I'm used to seeing, and I want to be in a relationship or finally be with someone who I don't have to be tested and go through these ordeals to be able to get where I need to get. And I get it. But in the meantime, what are you going to do? Because it doesn't serve you to be in that emotional place. So we have to feed ourselves with more patience. And those are the moments where we have to find other things to do that can help us find peace of mind. So I love you guys. I hope you like the reading. Please continue to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.